Greetings everyone. Today we're going to explore writing a linear equation from 2 points. Make sure you have your note sheet ready. All right, let's start this lesson with some steps. Step 1. If you're given 2 points, the first thing you're going to have to do is find the slope. Now, if you struggle with finding the slope between 2 points, that's a previous standard. Make sure you see my other video if you're struggling with that. Make sure that you have the formula y minus y over x minus x memorized. Okay, you will have to show that work when you're calculating. Step 2. And actually, let me back up. Let's make a little note. Can you please show work? Can you add that to your notes? I want to see how you got that slope, because if you write it wrong, I might not know how you got it wrong. So, show work, please. Step 2. Using a point, you get to pick which one, and the slope, which we just found, we're going to write our equation in point-slope form. Don't forget PSF. PSF is y minus y equals mx minus x. Again, if you're still struggling with point-slope form, see my other videos. Step 3, you might also be asked to write it in slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. And to do that, all you need to do, and maybe highlight or circle this, you just need to solve for y for SIF, right? You're just doing a little bit of work. You're going to distribute and add or subtract. Super easy. All right, let's practice using the examples on our note sheet. If you don't have it with you, make sure you're writing down these 3 steps. All right, let's start with step 1. Step 1 is find the slope between the 2 points. Let's use the formula. I'm going to zoom through this because I have a whole video on slope between 2 points. You're going to have 3 minus 6 over 2 minus 5. Again, if you need more help, see a previous video. Always simplify down as much as you can. Step 2, write in point-slope form. I'm going to set that up, meaning my slope is my coefficient of x, and then I have to pick a point. Here's where your work can look differently. I'm going to pick 2, 3, but you could pick 5, 6. We'll get the same answer. So if I pick 2, 3, my x says positive 2, I write negative 2. My y says positive 3, so I write negative 3. Now be careful, if there's directions to write in point-slope form, you're done. But if there's directions to write in slope-intercept form, you need to isolate y. So we're going to practice the inner notes. Let's isolate y. Meaning the first thing I'm going to do is distribute that 1 to eliminate parentheses. And the last thing I need to do is add 3 to the other side. We're going all the way back to the beginning of Algebra 1. Negative 2 plus 3 is 1. So yes, I zoomed through that because that is expected understanding at this point of the year. Once y is isolated, there's my SIF, y equals mx plus b. Let's try again with these 2 points. I'm going to start by finding the slope between the 2 points. Again, I'm going to zoom through this. If you need more support, please see my slope between 2 points video. I've got a negative 6, positive 4, and if I take a look, I need to reduce. My slope is negative 3/2. Let's write in point slope form. To do that, I have to pick a point, and I'm just going to pick the first one because it's first, no other reason. So the slope is the coefficient of x. It goes out front. That's my m. My x says positive 4, so I write x subtract 4. My y says negative 1, so I write y plus 1. Now, to write in slope-intercept form, you guys, I could distribute. Ugh. Do you want to distribute that fraction? I mean, sometimes you'll have to, but you guys, look at this point up here. I'm going to use a different color. Look at this purple point. That is a y-intercept. Let's save some time. Slope-intercept form just needs a slope and a y-intercept. My slope is still -3/2. But my y-intercept was given to me. It's a +5. Now, if you distributed and minus the 1 over, you'd still get this answer. Okay, I don't want to steer you away from doing the same steps every time. But if I'm already given the y-intercept, it makes it a little easier. All right, example 3. First thing we want to do is find the slope. 4 subtract a -6, double negative. -3 subtract a -2, double negative. Double negatives become addition. 4 plus 6 is 10. -3 plus 2 is -1. That simplifies down to an m value of -10. Step 2, write in point-slope form. My slope is the coefficient of x, and then I have to pick a dot. I don't think either dot is easier, so I'm just going to start with the first one again. If it says x -3, I write x plus 3. If it says y +4, I write y -4. Step 3, I do want you to practice writing in slope-intercept form. So to do that, I'm going to distribute the -10, which gets me a -30 over here. And then I need to add 4 to the other side. Y equals -10x minus 26. That is my slope-intercept form. Example 4. Now notice I didn't write the steps down here. Let's say you go through the motions, okay? Some of you are going to notice a pattern here, right? But let's say you're like, oh, hey, I need to find the slope, y minus y over x minus x. Uh-oh. 0 divided by any number is 0. Hold on. If it's a 0 slope, it looks like this, right? What axis would that slice? That would slice the y-axis. That means I can just write my equation. Y equals, it's slicing the y-axis at what number? Here's the special pattern. What do you notice? If the y coordinates are the same, that's your equation. If the y coordinates are the same, that's your equation. Let's talk about y. Let's say you used your marker board, right? And you're like 0, 3, 5, 3. And if you were to look, it's slicing at 3, right? So you could also graph it and see what the equation is. Okay, let's try this with the pattern. I go to find slope, but before I do, I notice, wait, these are the same coordinate and the same number. What coordinate are they? The x coordinate. What number are they? -2. It's that easy if they're the same. But let's say you struggle, you're not a good memorizer, so you draw a little picture and you're like -2, +6. Oops, I don't know if I counted right. -2, -4. You connect them and you're like, uh-oh, I'm slicing the x-axis at -2. Still your equation. Let's look at a couple review examples as well. Some of these might be in your notes, so make sure you are filling in accordingly. We're going to write the equation of a line that has undefined slope and goes through this point. Ooh, undefined is special. I'm visual. I'm going to draw a quick sketch. 2, 3. Undefined means vertical. You do have to memorize that. Or remember my little cheat. Can't walk straight up a wall. It's undefined. Let's use Mortvet's little cheat word of slicing. What axis am I slicing? The x-axis. At what number? 2. That's it. X equals 2. Let's practice this one. Again, these are special. That's why we're reviewing them. I have a slope of 0, and I go through this point. 0. 0 is horizontal, right? What axis does a horizontal line cross? The the y-axis. What's my y number? 3. If you struggle though, you guys, please draw a little sketch. 2, 3 would be right here. 0 means horizontal. I'm slicing the y at 3, right? Use those graph marker boards to figure it out if you're not sure. All right, this slide is not on your note sheet, so if you're studying or preparing for a learning check, this would be a great thing to watch and review. But if you are just taking notes, we are done with our note sheet. So let's take a look. No matter what, to write the equation of a line, I need to identify the slope. Let's say I start from this dot to this dot. Rise 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a positive 4. Run to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's positive 4 as well, which means 4 divided by 4 is 1. Oh, if I would have looked a little closer, right? Look at, I have a dot between each of them. Let me color coordinate. I see a dot here, and then a dot here, and then a dot here. See how I see all these perfect intersections? And you know what that means? Look at all the equations we can write in point-slope form. All of those colors. All right, so let me just show you. Slope-intercept form would be the same for everybody. Y equals mx plus b. My slope is 1, that's guaranteed. And my y-intercept is a positive 2. Look at that orange dot. But here's the thing. If I was to write point slope form, you guys, oh my word. Okay, I'm going to set up a whole bunch of these. Because look at how many dots we have. No matter what, the one thing that's always the same is our slope, right? We all have a slope of 1. The coefficient of x is 1. But let's say I use the red dot. My x is negative 1, I write positive 1. My y is positive 1, I write negative 1. Let's say I use the yellow dot. My x is positive 1, I write negative 1. My y is positive 3, I write negative 3. Let's say I use this green dot. My x is 3, I write negative 3. My y is 5, I write negative 5. Let's do the light blue. My dot says my x is positive 4, I write negative 4. My y is positive 6, I write negative 6. Let's use the dark blue dot here that has a number. My x says positive 5, I write negative 5. My y says 7, I write negative 7. Oh my goodness, here's why this is a great assessment question. Because look at all the right answers. If I don't tell you how to write the equation, then I would accept all of these. Let's take a look at this one. Now, because of the last example, I want to see if I have any other dots. I see a dot here. Oops, I'm going to color coordinate actually. I see a dot here, and I see a dot here, and I see the given dot here. Oh, and this given dot up here. Forgot that one. And I see that technically this would be a dot here. No matter what, we need to count our slope. Negative 1, 2, run 1, 2, 3. My slope is negative 2 over 3. So if I start off with slope-intercept form, my slope is negative 2/3. I need an x. And my intercept, where I cross the y-axis, is 0. So if you chose SIF, our answers are all the same. But if you choose point slope form, let me set up. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors. Depends on which dot you pick. All right, let's say you picked the purple. Oh, first of all, let's fill in our slopes, right? Our slope is the same no matter what. So our answers should be consistent in slope. Let's say you pick the purple dot. Change it to a positive 6 and a negative 4. Let's say you use the red dot. Positive 3, negative 2. Let's say you use the orange dot, 0, 0. That's okay. Let's say you choose the green dot. That would be a -3 and a +2. See how I'm changing the signs? And let's say I use the blue dot. That looks like a -6 and a +4. All of those are acceptable. If I just say write the equation, doesn't matter to me which one you choose. All right. If you are still watching, good job on keeping up with those extra examples. As always, make sure you check out Google Classroom to see what the task is, to see what standards you need to study. Let me know what questions you have, and until next time, have a good one.